Hello and welcome to the Universus Academy podcast. I am your host, Matt Childress, and with me is my assistant to the host, Mr. Chris Smith. Chris, how you doing, man?
I am fantastic after this weekend of playing cards with my friend Phil Birch and Nick Birch, who came into town for our case event.
Woo
Doing
woo.
great.
Them birches, though.
L- Double Birches, LQing, case eventing,
Mm.
a lot of news happening. We got Critical Role within a week. We got a webcam event. We got a lot of things to go over, and I'm running for no apparent reason inside my house.
I got to get there faster. Maybe if you run, you'll just
Gotta
you'll,
get
you'll
there.
you'll time travel through to the Saturday, right?
I mean, I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready to stab people. I mean, like not really stab
Like
people,
poke
but
poke,
stab
like
people.
cardboard poke poke.
No,
You
no,
know.
no, 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 no. I'm literally gonna jump through the. I'm gonna get them.
Okay.
I'm gonna get them.
He's
Yeah.
gonna
But
show up
anyway,
with some origami knife and be like, "You better watch out! I cut you so
you better
bad. You wish
watch
I
it,
had cut you so
boy.
bad."
Yeah, I'm gonna stun. I'm gonna cut all your foundations in half. Yeah. But how
Yeah,
are
man.
you? How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm dealing with a little bit of the sinus crud with the season
Mm,
change and all that sort of jazz. It's just kind
yeah.
of got me going right now. But so if I cough
Okay.
into the mic, I apologize. I'm gonna try my best to avoid that.
I
But
do it. I do it every week, man. They're used to it by now, so
right, they
they're
know what
used
they
to it.
signed up for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
man.
they did. They knew
I
exactly what they signed
had
up
a great time playing in Wish this weekend. I did
for. Nice.
not make top cuts. However,
Bad bait.
I'll talk about my deck and its performance. I did play Yusuke, and
Oh,
we'll dive more into that here in a minute. But yeah, just
okay.
general life catch up stuff. I'm good,
Yeah.
man. I'm looking to try to maybe play in some store qualifiers or whatever. Um, I actually went through. I did not realize exactly how that reward structure was all broken down and points and stuff. So I
Yeah.
did what I always do, and I made a spreadsheet. And I was like, uh, man,
Yeah.
so like you get an invite to Nats just for winning basically like a locals.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
cool.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Which makes the whole reasoning why, you know,
Right.
but
Like,
it's
why
fun.
are they
But
invites
we
at
went,
all?
yeah, but we went through this last year, and it's just fun. It's what it's for. It's like if you really want to go to nationals, you are going to make the point to qualify for nationals.
Right.
So and it's kind of fun to track stuff. It's kind of
Well,
it's
like,
like
dude,
for you math nerds at home, it's
so
really fun to
you
track
say
numbers,
that
I
I
guess.
started simulating ranges that I think the points breakdowns to make it to worlds will fall into. Um,
Oh my God. And that's going to be a Universus Academy exclusive Patreon thing that if you subscribe to our Patreon at the highest level,
Yeah,
you get that.
we'll do
I'm
something for it because like the reality is that there's no way at all to possibly anticipate where the ranges are because like all right, so like you can do some of the math like oh there's only so many regionals, there's only so many
Yeah,
nationals. Like I
yeah,
simulated it like if you got first place at everything, right? And then I realized if you got
sure.
first place at everything, you don't even need points. Um,
Yeah, you don't need.
right.
Yeah.
So then it's like okay, if I just got top 8 at everything, which is kind of
Well,
like the breakdown point.
yeah, that's true. Because if you got first at a regional, you automatically are qualified for Worlds. So
Right.
really, what you should do is,
I took the highest spot that doesn't get an auto
yeah,
invite.
there you go.
Yeah.
That's what you should do, and then break it down, and then. But to be fair, because I see my goal is this is
Mhm.
that I want to find this out since you are the math guy on the team.
Mhm.
Yes, we are a team, kind of officially, but we've always been a team. We're a duo.
Yeah.
We are a duo for the
Yeah,
most
it's like
part.
a tag team.
Um, it's a tag team. That's right. Um, we're like the Harlem Heat. That's what we're talking. Because that's for you old schoolers out there. 5 time, 5 time. I want to know if it's possible to get to Worlds without actually winning anything. Like if you do well, you have to. I mean, like do you have to top cut in multiple regionals? Is what I'm
Mhm.
asking. Can you just
So
win? Can you win? Because I know all of your seasonal points get
mhm,
transitioned into
championship points
championship
mhm,
points.
at the end of
So
that season. Yeah.
can you win every LQ you go to
hmm
and qualify for Worlds? Is what I'm basically and do
No is the short
marginally
answer,
and
and
say
that way
no,
because
yeah,
like so
yeah,
that's the variable is how many LQs you're able to play in. Like
sure,
your local championships, those are pretty hard locked because they all happen on the same weekend. So you're probably gonna be
yeah,
able to play
yeah.
one,
So
maybe two,
and
if there's one
and
Saturday
to
and
be
Sunday.
And to be fair, you can only have LQ local championships if you have 8 players. They only
Right,
qualify if you have 8 players. It's
and those
because like
only give championship points as well.
points.
So
Correct.
like
Correct. Yeah.
that's the like I said, like you can kind of anticipate those numbers, right? Like you assume
Right.
everyone plays in one each season and
Yeah.
run the numbers accordingly.
I get to play in
Yeah, maybe
two,
you get to
like
play in two, and that can throw it off a
play in
little bit. But the reality
and I
is
get to
that
play.
if you're
Then I
not
get to
making
play in
top
like six
cuts,
LQs.
if you're not making top cuts at
Yeah,
regionals, then
originals. Yeah,
you're going to have a hard time closing the gap. It's not as heavily
correct.
stacked as
Yeah,
the first year, where it was like if
yeah,
you didn't make top cuts at a regional, you had zero chance of getting in on points, right?
yeah.
Until
Oh,
they
for sure.
trickled down to like 30th place or whatever because
Well,
of all the other invites and all that other sort of stuff.
and
But like,
I got mine at nationals, so
yeah, you
that's
got
how
your
I got
invited
mine.
nats, yeah.
Yeah,
But like,
nationals.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. So like, if you make top cuts at an event, it is very, I won't say very likely. It is much more likely that you will be in a good enough points position that you don't have to
Sure.
win something, like
Hmm.
win an invite from placement. But like,
Oh, sure,
if
sure,
you,
sure.
so like, and that's where the math gets kind of, like I said, like kind of wonky because there's so many slots reserved for placement. But it was just fun to kind of explore because I'm a very visual person.
Hmm.
So like reading it on this on the
Yeah,
article versus me putting the numbers in and actually being able to simulate things was beneficial for me
yeah,
because I'm trying to map out and see like is there any chance that I could actually try to make this thing to worlds and
yeah,
maybe we'll see. I don't think it's very likely because I think
yeah.
there's people who are going to just grind way harder than me. So like I think my best
Hmm.
chance would be if I can make top cuts of some sort, which is kind of an okay segue into talking about the tournament this weekend
Well,
because I didn't make
yes.
top cuts.
Okay, so one more thing before we go on. So like,
Yeah.
you also have to account for trickle down
You can't account for
because
trickle down. So like
you can't.
no, so like because the reality is that if people are still earning their invite, like they're gonna the top 10% or whatever of points are already gonna be invited. So you just wipe those away, right? So like
Oh, sure.
that's what I'm
Okay,
saying. Like
gotcha.
the
Gotcha.
real
There's
math
no trickle
starts
down.
at
There's no real trickle down there.
right.
So,
The real math
well,
starts
it's
at the point where you place the highest without getting an invite, and then it scales down from there as far as invites
can
based off of points.
you get trickle down from Nats though?
Trickle down invites from nets. Like yeah, like
Yeah,
if
because
so in theory, right? So this is where it gets even more complicated. So I'm
yeah,
pretty sure in theory,
yeah,
if someone say makes top 8 at Nats and gets their world invite, but they already have one because they won a regional, then that
yeah.
goes to ninth.
It gets trick. It's
Yeah.
go. Okay, so
So
there is
so
trickle
again,
down at nationals at least.
right. So
There's
like that makes it
that.
even more complicated, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
really, there's
yeah.
no good way. Like the best you can do is kind of come up with like a ballpark range of numbers of like, okay,
So
this is bare minimum. This is if I can
yeah.
improve.
So what you're saying is you're Charlie in front of the Pepe
Yeah.
Silva board, then going
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. And I
Okay, cool.
realized that the
All right,
further I got into
we
it, that
like that.
I was like,
Yeah.
this is not real math. This is exclusively guesstimation napkin math.
Yeah, and we love napkin math here at UA. We do,
Right,
like
right,
Christmas Land. We love it, like Christmas Land.
right. So this weekend I played Yusuke, in Wish,
Yay, Yusuke.
and I ended up dropping after round 5.
Okay.
I started off win or draw, then a win. All of my draws were like literally even my stream match. I got to play round 4 or
Well, you
something on
were on
stream.
stream?
Yeah,
Awesome. Cool.
yeah. So you can go back
Okay.
and check the VOD. I'm
Cool.
not
I'll
gonna
have to do
lie,
that.
I did not lose to a younger Tagoro all day. Um, I beat one and I
I
drew
mean,
with one.
okay, cool. So you didn't lose to one. That's cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay, good.
And
Good,
I
good,
would
good,
have beat
good.
the second one. That was the stream match, but I
Yeah.
walked into a Genkai's guidance. Like he committed out, had 2 in hand, was tapped out going
Yeah.
into my turn, and I was like, "This dude
Yeah.
ain't blocking nothing." And I drew Spirit Gun Final, and I drew like one other attack, right? And he was in
Sure.
like 10-ish life range, so I'm like, "All right, we
Oh,
can do
sure.
this."
So like yeah. So like if you
Any
can hit
2
him with a
attacks
big one,
connect,
any
or
two
like
attacks connect, you win.
right.
Yeah.
So I leave the Spirit Gun Final. I'm like, this is just GG, right? Like he has nothing, and he pops it, and I'm like, brr. So then I'm like, play second attack, use character, get a third
Yeah.
attack, and end up leaving him at like 3, and it was the
Well,
last turn of the game because we had already gone to
brutal.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Okay.
I was thinking about it later, and what I should have done is I should have read, oh, he's committed out. I should have played around the guidance, right?
Around the guidance. So you play the other attack first, so you can
Correct.
ping him with, so you can hit him with, because he's probably gonna yeet any attack you play first, right?
Right.
Because he
He's just
doesn't
going to
want
get
to
it out of the
deal
way
with
and
it.
make me have another
Yeah.
one. Right. To
Correct.
keep me from
Yeah.
using my character. And I think that's the
Yeah.
sound, like, I think that's sound logic and what I should have done. And, that's not,
It's true. It
that's a
happens.
tough read to
Yeah.
make, even if you
It is.
know that's a possibility. And I did know he was
Mhm.
running it, but I think it is the correct line. And that was like my
Correct.
error in that game and ended up
Yeah.
costing me the game. We got a draw instead. Because, dude, oh man. So for those of you who don't know, I built my deck anticipating Bowie and Young Tagoro. And I did lose to a Bowie in the 5th round in overtime
Our
because
boy. Our boy,
he
our boy
yeah
got you.
this yeah he drew the hot nuts on the backswing,
Hell yeah,
and that's fine, whatever. He had like 10 face downs at
yeah,
that point. I was like, well, I'm dead.
yeah.
But like it was close games. They were good.
Mm.
But oh man, you better believe. So we were running. One, I want to just start. Genkai's training is a hell of a card. Um,
That card's broken in this format if you think about it.
it is
Because what do?
so good.
You mostly play cards with your character's face on it, so they're gonna share at least
If
two on
if you're
there
running
for the most
Yusuke,
part.
they all like.
Oh
I think there were
sure.
two
Oh
cards in
yeah.
my deck that did not share two symbols.
Oh, that's right. I know your deck list because you gave it to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah,
Um, and
yeah.
so with that, like, man, I got to do some awesome plays. Like, I
Cool.
got to use Genkai's training with an Aveda copy to block a 100% power
Oh,
that was like
hell
12 speed. I'm
yeah.
like block completely on a 2, and they're like, and then I got to go. I double absorbed energy
Oh, you're
block.
talking about
The one that gets
ultimate under 100% unleashed
yeah,
because
yeah,
that's a
the
mid.
secret rare. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the regular 100%'s a low, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's still
No, no.
risky, man.
So that
You know?
one, he tried to pop
Yeah.
it on like turn 2, and I only had 5 foundations. And he was like,
Ooh.
+5 damage.
Okay.
I'm like, nah, dog, I got 5 foundations. He's like, oh. I'm like,
Oh.
yeah, we here for it. Breaker
Yeah.
2, low block, get wrecked. The deck is super fun. I
Mm.
think it was a good call for that tournament. Like
Sure.
I ended up dropping after I lost that buoy because I was pretty confident that I could not make it in at that point.
Yeah.
If I'd won out, maybe I get in on the bubble, but it's very unlikely.
Yeah.
And my son had some stuff that he needed to go do, so I dropped tonight. I
Sure.
just took care of that, but had a
Exciting.
blast.
That's cool.
And the deck did what it was supposed to do. Like at one point, I got to block like a gabillion speed, damage and speed attack from a buoy with an evaded copy. Also, it was like block on a 3, and they're like, "Bull." I'm like, God,
Ugh.
this is
My
woo. I can
my
run this card and
my
not feel bad
character.
about it. It's great.
No. No, that's cool because I know we were talking about it. And how did the Genkai Spirit Gun work out? Because I know that was something that we had talked about back and forth for a little bit.
So my takeaway from playing the deck is it needs a little more damage. To your point, right?
Okay. Sure.
So I think you still just 1x that, like
Okay.
I was, because there was a situation where I ended up pitching and pulling it back. That's actually the final attack that I did play in that draw game, because I had like 3 momentum, so I got it to like 12, and he was at like 13 or 14 or something if I remember correctly. I don't know. You can go back and
Yeah.
check the VOD,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
uh, I think the solution is you add like raid the hideout or some other foundation reusable damage pumps.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Pitch 1 for
Gotcha.
+2 damage to your good attack. I think that's
Mm.
probably enough to kind of get you there. Um,
And it also has a defensive ability, which
it
is kind of
does,
nice too.
it does,
So,
and it still
which is
matches
always
2
good.
symbols. So
Yeah. Yeah.
like all those things kind of check the boxes. So like I adjusted the list slightly, changed that in, and like
Mhm.
maybe one other foundation or whatever. But like I felt good about the attacks. The deck just needed a little extra to get there. So
Something. Yeah.
yeah,
That's cool.
so
Awesome.
yeah, it was
Awesome.
fun. It's cool character, cool
Yeah.
deck, lots of fun.
Yeah.
You know,
I
and
know. I know. My local Tyler's been playing a version. Like he's played your version, and now he wants to play his version. So I swapped it to his version because he
mhm,
wants to play. It's a little different. So,
yeah.
but yeah. So we got I traded for an XR Yusuke. Thank you, Joe. You know who you are out there in the community.
Mhm.
I traded. He's like, I got a bunch of XRs. I need to sell them. I need to trade them. I'm like, I got a younger Tagoro. He's like, I'll take it. What do you want?
Done.
Yusuke. Done. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
hmm Dude, I'm telling you,
Um,
like that
yeah.
that deck is a lot of
He's
like it
cool.
is a
He's
defense
very
first
cool.
deck,
Yeah.
and like
He's not flashy.
right,
The character is not.
he's
He's very
super consistent. That's what
he's just
matters. Like
yep, that's all it is.
he
He's just
makes his
consistent.
attacks a little bit better, and then
Yep.
he makes you work really hard. Like the first younger Tagoro I was playing against, literally asked me what surprising skill did, and they had played a refreshing slice, and they're like, "Oh, cool! So I'll never use that card." I'm like, "Right."
Yep.
And then
Mhm.
we were in like game 1, like turn 4 or whatever, and he's trying to push in, and I'm just blocking everything, and
Yeah.
he's like, your deck is incredibly hard to get damage through, and I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah. Well,
That is
Genkai's training will do that.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
that's the
Genkai's
plan.
training does that. Yeah. It's
Oh,
like
dude, it's
I'll
it's a
block
lot
on
of
a
fun.
+0.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, block on
Um.
a +0,
Yeah.
block with an absorb, get an energy or
Yeah.
absorbed energy, get a
Yeah. That's
momentum to then yeah. Oh
yeah.
yeah, it's
That's
awesome.
cool.
It's so
Yeah.
cool.
So you can get what I can't say it because we're a fam friendly, but double spirit blast. You
Yeah.
get that online. I can't say that what I really call it because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
we're a fam friendly podcast. So yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
So while you were doing that
Mhm.
on the webcams, I was in an in-person event at Boar's Hat Games.
For a case, right?
We, for our, it was our first local qualifier, but it's also a case event. We don't do a win a case event.
Mhm.
We do a case event, so pricing's just more spread out,
Mhm.
down
Sure.
top
Give
eight.
away 6 boxes worth,
Yeah,
effectively. Yeah,
or
that's cool.
more depending on
Participation.
turnout.
Yeah,
Because we've had events where all top eight get like a box and a half. So we've
that's
had
cool.
events that big. So um, we had 16 players. We were missing a contingent from Milwaukee because they also had their local qualifier that day. So we were missing like 6 players,
Mhm.
and then half of and Kalamazoo didn't make it because one of their drivers couldn't make it because he had to work.
Mhm.
So we were down probably a good 10 people, but I played Toka 3, no surprise.
Mhm.
Um, as Tim Keefe put it in his meta review, there's some people who are really, really high on this character. Surprise, it's really just me.
It's
So
us. It's us. Yeah.
it's us,
We talk about
just
it a
me.
lot.
Yeah, I talk about that character a lot. I've been iterating on Toga 3 since Jetburn.
Mhm.
I went to Chaos with Dark Tournament.
Mhm.
Because Walk the Dog and Keisha Hetler are insane in that character, and Dark Tournament Looms is also stupid in that character. So
Mhm.
yeah, I went 3-1. I bubbled out because we had a top four, and my tiebreakers were really bad. I was the
Oh,
worst tiebreaker. Yeah, I was fifth. It
yeah.
happens.
It
Whatever.
does.
I
Yeah.
even lost to Phil, who was the undefeated, and I got booted. I even
Oh,
asked him, I was like, dude, do you want an ID? And he's like, nah, man, I want to go first on top cuts. I'm like, but what if we're splitting? He's like, nah, I still want to go first. I'm like, okay, whatever, let's play it.
fine.
So I got bodied so bad by Mimic. Um, to the point where I'm PTSDing now, and like I'm putting like breaker hate in my deck because one, I didn't have breaker hate in my deck, which is every deck should have breaker hate. So, um, but like he doesn't need his foundations to block.
Well, he
So
doesn't really play foundations, so
nah, like he's like I don't need these to come.
he plays like
Sure,
three.
whatever.
You commit them all on your
Yep.
first attack, and you're like, well, I don't do anything
Nope.
else. So what about this? And he's
Nope.
like, I do
Nope.
lots of other things. Check it out.
And,
Green,
and
green,
he's
green, green,
like,
green, green, green.
he's like, I'll eat your first attack, breaker two your next one,
It,
twisty surroundings the first one to make me either lose my first attack buff
mm-hmm.
or or I go down
Tap
in
out. Yeah,
foundations and what, yeah, or tap out or
yeah.
whatever. But yeah, no, I also need asset hate, but whatever. That's besides the point. Played some really good games. I played against our Armor Mirio in round one,
Mm-hmm.
which was fantastic and fun. That deck is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I won 2-0, but it wasn't like a convincing 2-0. It was like, well, he was short in attack and he didn't use Mirio's zero out properly, so I was
Mm-hmm.
able to. And then he's a local of mine, so I walked him through after I beat him. I was like, dude, you really should have done this because it makes me have a sixth attack to kill you.
God,
And
a
and
sixth
I
attack. Okay, yeah.
yeah. I needed a sixth attack to like
Whew.
and check fives on 5 and 6, like
Whew.
because like attack no, it was attack three didn't kill him, but he zeroed it out, so attack four killed him. So he eats attack three, goes to like two, zeroes out attack four, makes me check a five on the last two attacks. I have to
Mm-hmm.
check fives to kill him. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
it no here nor there. And then I played against an armor Amajiki the next round, so I
God.
was like, I'm getting all the
People
armor
big on the armor,
experience.
huh?
Yeah, it's crazy. I got lucky. I beat him I went first game one.
Mm-hmm.
Toad was really good going first. Yada yada yada. And then he had a really bad mulligan in game two where he only built one foundation. So yeah. I played against Nick Birch and Phil Birch in the final 2 rounds. They're playing the exact same deck. So yeah.
Jerks.
Oh,
To
I know,
be
right?
fair, also
I
though,
beat.
Phil
Yeah.
played that deck at
Yeah.
Nats and made top cuts with it also.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
he
yeah.
knows
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
deck. He's
Yeah.
good with that deck, and he's a great
Oh,
player. So
he made top four with that deck, and we were out talking during the tournament, and he was like, George, you didn't want any of this in finals, bud. You didn't want any of this in finals. Like he was like an attack away from beating Carson, so it was like
right.
super close, and that Mimic deck is crazy. That deck off of Evil, he gets a Mortal Shapeshifter, he gets that 1/5, he gets that other one from him where he
Mm-hmm.
just makes checks all days on every attack, and he gets to go, cool, I get to just
Yeah, he
and
gets to
they
flood
were
his discard pile. Then, yep.
yeah, and then they were playing relaxed demeanor to get attacks out of their deck to
Mm-hmm.
pick up whatever attack they wanted, which was really
So it's
sick,
funny you mentioned relaxed demeanor.
Yeah.
I was this
Yeah.
close to running getting Yusuke.
Tyler runs it in Yusuke right now.
Um,
Tyler is running it in Yusuke
so
as a
like
2X.
I went back and forth on it. I don't think it
Yeah,
actually ends up being as good as I wanted it to be. But it's
I know.
cool if you're running like the 1x Genkai Spirit Gun or 1x of an attack because then you can search for
He's,
that one
he's
copy and pitch it.
he's running Spirit Gun Mega in his deck, so he gets So he has a 1X Spirit Gun Mega, so he can pull it out whenever he wants. So
Sure,
yeah,
and that
it's
way he
cool.
gets the 2 out of his
Yep.
deck. Sure.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
I saw that card, like it was the last couple of days leading up to it, and I was trying to look and see if there
Yeah.
were any other revisions to make, and I saw that card. I was
Mhm.
like, I don't know, this could seem pretty cool, but
On face, it looks really cool
yeah, it's a
until
4
you actually
check. Yeah,
yeah. I
that's
mean,
the
4 checks are Canadian. 4 checks are Canadian fives anyway.
yeah.
So
This is a terrible exchange rate. But yes, I did not
facts,
embrace
facts.
that. But yeah, anyway, so
Yeah.
glad the event went well. Sounds like you had a great
Yeah,
time.
it was
You guys had
fun.
a
It
good
was a
time. That's
blast.
awesome.
Yeah, and then we all went to dinner afterwards. So in
Yeah.
typical UVS Games fashion, a group of us went out to eat. So it was
You
fun.
break
It was
you break bread with your rivals after you take L's or give
yeah,
L's.
man.
You know, it's all good. It's good
It was a
sportsmanship.
blast. It was so much fun.
Right.
I mean, I like playing in big events anyways, and I
Hmm.
like seeing my friends. And I hadn't seen Nick in a long time, and I saw Phil. We saw each other at the HLC. So
Right.
but now going forward, we have a webcam event. I
We
mean,
do.
whenever this gets posted, this could be after the
Yeah.
webcam event.
There is or was a webcam
There
event.
is or was a webcam event that is this Saturday or this past Saturday. I am playing in it. I will be
Hmm.
streaming. I'm excited. So
Hey,
we're running Token
that
Man.
seems like the
So
thing to do now. Is make sure to record and stream your matches for webcam.
yeah, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Whatever. But it's fun. Like I like playing the deck. Somehow I turned into an aggro player in the last 4 months. I have no
Mhm.
idea how or why. It just happened. So
Right. Um, yeah, if I were playing, I would definitely be playing Bakugo 4.
hell
I've
yeah.
stated many a time in our Discord and other
Hmm.
Discords that I'm in that that's the character I'm playing competitively all year long.
Yep.
I
Hmm.
can't claim that Tim Keefe was talking about me on his tier list, but I like to think I was one of the people that
Yeah.
contributed to it.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully Tim comments in the bottom. He's gonna be like, "You guys are in delusions of grandeur." I
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
to
We,
other
we,
people
we
too.
think we're way
Yeah.
more important than we actually are. He,
Yeah,
he
yeah, yeah,
actually just looks at our
exactly.
list and he's like, why are y'all so bad? Like, I don't understand.
Exactly. He weeps for us. He weeps for us. He
Yeah.
knows what he does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he pities the
Um,
fools.
I am super. I am thinking that Bakugo 4 is one of those characters that you have to be somewhat ready for
Hmm.
because you have to know how to play around his discard. Like you have
Dude,
to be prepared
yeah,
for it.
well, and
You know?
like I love all the new DR stuff. Like first round was against a
Mm.
Kuwabara, and I just sat there and thought, I was like, God, if I was playing Bakugo, this is the freest win to
I
ever
know,
happen.
but you
Like
weren't because you're playing in a dark tournament
I know
character
I can't play him in the
only
Dark Tournament. I wish I
tournament.
could, but
Yeah,
dude, like
yeah,
literally, I was just like, I can't wait to play my boy. Can't wait to play him. And I
yeah.
already got the cards that I needed from the new set, which was all of one, to change up to the list. So we got that. So
Was
we
it
we
was it
ready.
foil though? Was it a
It is
foil
foil. It
card
is
though?
foil. It's
Oh,
Botan's
that's even
coaching.
better.
Botan's coaching.
Because I'm sad and I have like 8 cards in my deck that aren't foil because they're dark tournament commons and uncommons.
Yep.
But yeah. But we did max rarity or rapid speed slashes. We are playing the old versions. So we're
Okay.
max rare.
Okay.
I'm gonna thank Phil for that one. He's like, if you're playing max rarity, you just play the old versions because technically those are the rare ones. I'm like,
Right. They're foil. Yeah.
no, they're not foil. They're
They're not.
non-foil, but they're the old cards, so they're considered more rare. So
Oh. Okay.
I don't know. Whatever. I don't
Okay.
care. They
Um.
look a lot cooler. They look a lot cooler.
Right.
But yeah, like on your point about Bakugo 4 being your competitive player, this character this year is like I feel the same way about Toga.
Hmm.
Like I'm gonna dabble in other characters like
Oh yeah.
Vexalia or Mirko 2 or Toga 4 or Mount Lady 3 with the girl power stuff,
Right.
but um yeah, I think Toga 3 is my like I get people the old heads will know this. I get Kotal Khan feelings because
Hmm.
I played Kotal for like a year and a half and it's like they kind of do the momentum shenanigans the
Hmm.
same way, but the way they can apply pressure, I think is what I like about it so much is that they just pressure your rival into making really bad decisions if they're not prepared, right?
Right. Well,
Like or
so you
in the
create like these
instance.
kind of like
So,
lose. Like you're picking the lesser of evil decisions, and like it still doesn't
Mhm.
feel good to make the decision, but you made the
Correct.
right one, but like it still doesn't feel good,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And like people don't like
Yeah.
finding themselves in that situation. Um,
Yeah.
and
They don't
um,
want to see their board completely sideways.
right.
They
Well, and
don't.
like that's
Yep.
really the thing, and that's what we've been talking about. Is like there's very few good answers to stun currently, or
Yeah.
board committal in general. And with set one leaving, And because of that, and then the additional tools that she got offensively, like I've been big on that character since we saw the new set. I was like, oh yeah, this character's going to
Yeah.
be real competitive.
Yeah. What?
Maybe I'm wrong,
Yep.
but our game has largely been a six hand size meta since MHA came out. Like there's been blips
Yeah.
of fives or sevens every now and then, but like for the most part, it's been a six hand
Yeah.
size meta,
Six.
and I
Yep.
don't think that's any
Which is
different.
funny. Which is funny because I believe I was the first six-hander to win anything. I was the first actual six-hander to win anything with All Might.
Right, because
I
K
think he
one
was
had just gotten banned like a
his
month before, so
K
right.
K1, and then Froppy. She owned a bunch of events,
Mm-hmm.
and I think there was another five-hander possibly, but then I think All Might was the first
And
six-hander to win
And to be
anything
fair, when I
technically.
refer to it that way, I also am generally speaking, I look at top eights normally and kind of gather
Yeah,
data from there,
yeah,
not just what won, but like
yeah.
if you want to
Oh yeah,
make
yeah,
top
yeah, yeah,
cuts,
for sure.
what more likely gets you there? Which
Oh yeah,
it's always six handers, it
it's
seems.
six because technically, why would you play a seven-hander with less health when you can play a six-hander and you get that seventh card going second, or there's so much card draw in our game that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so
You know?
that's what's beautiful about Bakugo, right? I'm right there
Yeah,
with
no.
you. I think there's way too much free card draw, and I only have like two answers in the game to card draw. But man, there's never enough card draw when they need it. Like I even played into a Nezu, which has to be the worst possible scenario for Bakugo.
Yeah.
And man, I did not get there. I got milled, but I was like one check away, one attack, one
Yeah, I
check
remember
away.
you
Like you're talking
talking
about.
about this. This is the webcam. This is the webcam weekly thing. This is the webcam winter event, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
were
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about, I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
That's funny.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is like the deck still could almost get over that hurdle, right? Like it was
Yeah.
there, the lines were there. I
Exactly.
just didn't
Yeah.
make the checks or draw the card or
Yeah.
whatever it was. I don't remember. But
hmm
point being,
hmm
I'm right there with you, man. Like it's exciting to kind of already have a deck that you feel good about,
Yeah.
not
hmm
just because you are a fan of the character, but also because
Yeah.
it seems like it's going to be competitive enough. Like I do not think that either of those characters are the S tier, right? Like if you were going to break it down to a tier
No.
list, but I
No.
do think they are
I don't.
solid
Yeah. Yep.
decks that you should be prepared for. Like if you've never played
Like.
into either one of those, then you're doing
Yeah.
yourself a disservice going to these events.
Like if you get like what were like the lists that people usually have, like winning event, top four, top eight,
Mm-hmm.
like that. Like I think they're in that top 16. They could crack the top 16 with the right matchups. They may be able to win the entire event roughly.
Right.
Like to be fair, like it's just happenstance that both of us, like if we go first, all playoffs. Like
Mm-hmm.
obviously this is a go first driven game. Like if you're able to apply pressure enough with your character, you can make anybody feel dominant. Like to
Oh
be
yeah.
fair, like
Like it's kind of like honestly, like I keep referencing Tim's video, but like it's what he was classifying
oh,
as. Like there's
it's like one of the best videos ever. So
yeah.
yeah, I'll take
Like
it.
he was.
It
It's like he was
does.
pointing out. Like there are just
We're in
some
it.
jet
We're
burn
in
and
it.
beyond
So,
characters that if
correct.
they draw the nuts and check fives, they just kill you on two, and there's nothing you can
Mhm.
do about it.
Correct. You
And
can have the defense for it, and you can still die.
right. And that's kind of the way that both those characters play, and like that
Mhm.
doesn't bother me because we've had that in the game. You know, that was Jiro, that was Tokuyami. Like there's always
Yeah.
been decks like that. It's just there seem to
Yep.
be more options currently, and I think the variance between them, like they don't do it as often, and also the variance between like them
They
and the
don't.
next character that could do it isn't as
Yeah.
large of a gap. Like Bird and Jiro
Yeah.
were, I think, further beyond a lot of other decks that
Yeah.
try to do it as well.
And I also think they kind of, I mean, yes, they all apply stat. A lot of them put stats on stuff,
Mm-hmm.
is what the main argument is, but they actually all do it kind of differently outside of
Sure.
the stat pump, right? Like
Right.
Bakugo discards cards, Toga commits your board, Mount Lady commits your pieces as she keeps stomping on you.
Right.
Ryukyu just commits you and just plays an attack over and over and over again. Like
Right.
they all do it kind of differently, which kind of adds some flavor to the game. It's not just, well, I just played the same, I just did this, and this character
Right.
just
Well,
this the same. They all do it a little differently,
and
which
you
is kind of
bring me
nice.
to the giant muscle bound meathead in the room, which is young Tagoro,
Oh,
right?
Younger Togoro, yeah,
Like
yeah,
people, I don't think he's going to be as relevant in the larger meta as he was in Wish. Like he is
yeah,
not like a K2 level. Like this is going to be 50% of all the top cuts moving forward until
no,
something's done. I think for Wish it was just a lot of people being lazy. I'll be honest. Like I think Corey's deck, he did a lot of tech and he was ready for Young
yeah,
Tagoros. My deck was ready for Young
yeah,
Tagoros. I'm sure there were others along the
yeah.
way. Those are just two that I'm aware of.
I
And like,
mean, like, See, I to just interrupt for a second. I
Mhm.
think a lot of the characters we would have liked to seen, like a Jin, like a Yusuke, like a Genkai, yes, they did make appearances, but I also think those characters aren't as easy to pilot
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
as
Like
yeah,
Young
just
Toguro
they're
was
just
the low hanging fruit. Like it's like this character's
correct.
clearly good, and eventually,
Yes.
like people don't like to play defense in our game. A lot of times, they just like to draw orange, play orange, and he does that well.
Yeah, he
And
does.
it's just a did I go first at that point, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Like yeah. Anyway, so what I'm getting at is that I don't think he's going to be as relevant this weekend. He might be. He'll be
I
there,
think he will be. I think he'll be there. I think he just won't be 40% of the field like he was at
right?
the Wish tournament,
Yeah,
you
close
know?
to 50.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, with younger Togoro, I've been testing into my friend Ryan, who's on the Let's Talk UVS team. Don't know if it's their build per se, but I'm gonna say it is. Haha, David Toombs, I got one on you. So like Toga tests pretty good into him because he doesn't block a whole lot. Like he
Mm-mm.
just eats damage. Like I get enough momentum to where I can string out. I think another positive is too. I play a lot of low attacks, so I
Mm-hmm.
avoid the showdown blocks, and I make them
Right.
have Genkai's guidances. Um, so I think that's something too. So I mean, like you can pick your matchups and pick your point. You know, you pick your poison. You have to figure it out, and I think it's just part of the game is just figuring out where you pick your spots. And fortunate for me, it's whenever your entire stuff is sideways. Yes, I am so high on Toga 3 right now. You have no idea. I am so drunk with power.
That is, yeah. I mean, like, I agree. Like, I don't think that he is gonna be as dominant as he was this weekend.
Right. Yep.
But you know, like, again, add it to the list of decks you should be testing into, and you should know
Yeah.
the
Right.
matchup, and
Mhm.
you should probably have some cards in your board for that matchup if they're not cards you're gonna main because you're gonna
Right.
see him. Like, he is generically strong.
Yep.
And people like generically strong characters. He doesn't have a damage cap. He doesn't have a keyword restriction. He's gonna be around. He's a good stuff deck. He just plays all the good stuff.
Coordinated effort was banned for a reason, and I don't think it was the reason of that. Hey, it's a three diff 6 check unique asset. It was hey, I get to clear my pool for free.
Yep. And build a
Yep,
foundation process. That's
and
right.
build a
Actually,
foundation.
I had
Yep,
blocked that card out of my mind, but now that you mention it, he is
yep.
coordinated
He's
effort on a
coordinated
character.
effort. He's coordinated effort on a
Designers, what
character.
were you thinking?
Hey man, maybe since we instead of having it on a 5 hand size character, we're just going to put it on a 6 hand size character with a damage stat. So,
Mm-hmm. What could
whatever. I
possibly
don't
go
know.
wrong?
I love my design team. I think they build some cool stuff. So, but yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that's pretty much it for that stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
we got Critical Role coming out this week, which is
Yeah.
great, exciting. I know
So
it's not your cup of tea, but it's my cup of tea.
yeah. Well, I was actually going to talk about some of the news stuff, which that plays into, right?
Sure. Yeah.
For starters, we did get a new band and errata list. Um,
Mm.
Basically, they just changed Fat Gum 2 to where he only works once. Um,
Yep.
and then they ruled that the Three Eyes of Hiei gets to
Hmm.
keep its 6 check.
Yep. And it
Um,
reveals on webcam.
and it reveals on webcam. Yeah, and that's it. Um,
Yep.
then past that, we have, to your point, some new product announcements as well.
Yep.
So
Yep.
they
Very
talked
cool.
about Godzilla. They confirmed that Star Trek Lower Decks is
Yeah.
coming to the game as that final Challenger series, the sci-fi that they couldn't talk about before.
Yep. And
And
Tekken 8.
they gave us the heads up that Tekken 8 is coming back to the game, or Tekken is coming back to the game in the form of
Hey,
Tekken 8 for
you
next year.
you fighting game aficionados. There we
I'm
go.
not gonna lie,
I'm
that's
already
easily the outside of
I'm
Girl Power.
already I'm already prepared.
Oh, look at
Give
that.
me her. Give me her as a character. Give me her.
Yeah, outside of like Girl Power, that's actually like the only franchise that I'm excited about personally.
Sure. I mean,
But
I'm
not
hyped
to say
for
that
it.
I won't
Sure.
be interested in the others, and that I won't play them or whatever else
Yeah.
like that. But the
Yeah.
reality is that like I'm just not a big fan of a lot of the other series, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's yeah, I was excited that there was some cool
Yep.
news to gain and to
Mhm.
have. Um, the Girl Power, they already started showing some previews there as well, and that looks
Yes, they
pretty
did.
awesome too.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
My wallet. My wallet.
yeah, you're gonna
That's all I
get
gotta
that
say.
Miracle Chrome.
Nah, I'm going for Toga if there's a Toga one.
The
So yeah.
Toga Chrome. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
if there's a Toga Chrome, we're gonna get a Toga. If we get a Toga Chrome and it's pink, I'm dead. So
Oh,
just
game over.
my wallet is Mr. Stark. I don't feel so good, and it just dissipates. It just disappears into the
Done.
wind. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It gets
just dust.
dusted like Thanos snapped
Dust.
your
Yep,
wallet.
yep. Just
Um,
dust. Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty excited to see like Mirko seems like exactly a character I would want to play because she's like Bakugo one, but like slightly different.
Go on. The
Yeah,
same symbols. So, it's like,
right. So that's really
yep.
cool because that character was
Yeah.
super fun.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm super excited for that. But to your point, Critical Role comes out.
Yep.
I've actually got some Critical Role news for people as well.
Oh,
So
real.
sometime by the time Critical Role comes out, so in the next week or so, I'm
Yep.
going to be updating all of our Learn to Play classes with Critical
Oh,
Role
cool.
versions of it and the most current version of
Oh,
all the news.
okay.
And
All right.
I'm doing that because I imagine there's going to be a big influx of people. So I'm going to have to
Yeah.
re-record some of the audio and some of the other things like that. But for the videos, but I've got all the presentations and all of the other resources already done. So yeah, be on
Cool.
the lookout for that. Spread the word if you got friends who are getting into it. Send them to the website. It's a free course they can sign up for. They can take. I'll update the YouTube channel as well and make sure
Yeah.
that we really bring these people in and welcome them because it's a huge license. It's a huge property. So
Yeah. Also, thank you everyone in the community who's pulled a Chrome and updated the tracker.
yeah.
We thank you because that there's a lot of people who are actually excited about the fact there is a Chrome tracker and that they can
Mm-hmm.
actually follow along, which is really funny because they always tag me when there's anything wrong with it. They're like, I'm like, dude, it's not mine, it's Matt's. I'm just the face of the company. That's it. I'm a
Right.
face. He does all the
You're
bad.
the guy who's way more active
Yeah.
on Discord than me.
You correct, correct. Someone's got to be the face, you know?
Right.
You're too busy doing everything else.
Right,
So,
right. Yeah, no, the Chroma Tracker. Yeah, that's a great point. Like, thanks to everyone who has submitted that. I got all that live. I got the images updated. Thank you to the UVS team for getting me those images and for helping
yep.
us with that process. And thank you personally, you, for bringing those things to my attention. And yeah, it's been really exciting to see. We definitely. I don't think it's necessarily that more have been pulled this go around, but more people have reported pulling one this go
Ported.
around. And
Yeah, that's
and the
right.
goal here would
Yep.
be eventually like people just know, oh hey, I pulled a Chrome. I need to go to the UVS, to
That's
Universe Academy
to
site and
be
just log it.
Yep. To be fair, there's people who like who've asked for the tracker and
Hmm.
other people have now been tagging them in the Chrome tracker link. So
Sweet,
like
sweet.
it's viral.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
and well, that's kind of the goal. Like the biggest problem with
Yeah.
it initially, like I've even actually gotten some from set three that we didn't have before that people have been sharing
Oh,
as well.
cool.
Yeah, and I've been
Awesome.
updating
That's
those. But
great.
like,
That's great.
yeah, I mean, like getting in front of people is just always the hardest thing, right? So
Yep.
spread the word. If you got a buddy who filled one out, or who pulled one and hasn't
Yeah.
filled it out yet, let them know.
Oh, by the way, George pulled Chrome Yusuke in his top 8 prize packs. The rich get richer, man. The rich get richer.
Oh man, that's how it goes, man.
I mean, he was playing his gold rejuvenate champion rejuvenating smash this Saturday in his deck. So yeah, he's always played it, and I'm like,
Dude.
come on,
Mm.
man. It's just like
Um,
really,
I can
yeah.
I can report now, guys. I got my webcam press support packs, and I did not pull the hotness like
Oh,
Chris.
oh, I did. Yeah, yeah. I got Travis Kelsey Dobby 3.
Mm-hmm.
So the Taylor Swift connection number. So
Yeah.
like not only is 1 through 10, 69 and 100, it's also 13 and 87 now are the hot numbers because of the
Okay.
Taylor
Okay.
Swift connection.
There you
This
go.
is actually a running meme on the Discord
For all
now.
the
So
Swifties out
like
there.
for all the Swifties out there, I got Travis Kelsey Dobby 3. So yeah, you're
Yeah.
welcome. You're
Yeah,
welcome, three
I still
Swifties.
got to track down a Bakugo Chrome. So if you got a Bakugo 4 Chrome and you are interested in letting it go, hit me up. You can leave a
I mean,
comment down below, or you can just hit me up directly. It don't matter because I'm interested in trying to get one of those.
I know a guy who has a champion one. If you're interested,
Yeah, you
so
know one who has one of those. Yeah, I think some of those got reported on the tracker.
I know. Thank you, Nick Reagan. That was
Mm-hmm.
funny.
Well
He
played,
messed.
sir. Well played.
Oh, it was great. Oh yeah, and he was having a good time too when he
Yeah.
did it. So yeah, it
Oh
was
yeah.
very funny. Yeah, we
But
love you. We love you.
absolutely, man. Well, I think that kind of covers everything, man. Like I know it's
Yeah.
kind of condensed, it's kind of all over the place, but there's just
Yep.
been a lot of life stuff going on and a lot
Yep.
of news going on. So we're
Yeah.
trying, guys. We're trying.
Yeah. I'm still streaming over at Brody One over at Twitch on Mondays. If this gets out before the webcam event, I'm streaming the webcam event on Saturday,
Hmm.
but we're looking to get back. I was off for a week to hang out with the wife, and we're looking to get back on a regular schedule on Wednesday. So
Nice.
hopefully, I can get some community members to play some webcam games because I hate TTS. So
Mm.
yeah, yeah, 'cause I'm old and I don't like technology.
Yeah. Well, TTS is it's a struggle bus in my opinion, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's all
I
we
uh,
got. So you do what you can.
I know. That's why I just rather play webcam sometimes.
I
So
feel you.
that's whatever.
Same, but easier said than
Mhm.
done. I
Oh, yeah,
got
always,
sometimes
always.
you got a little one just running around in the background. You can't do anything about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I
But
know. I know. It's very cool. It's very cool though. Hey, I got my little ones running
I saw,
around
yeah, I'm
every
about to say,
now
you
and
know
then
what it's
too.
like. You got it going on.
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep.
But yeah, man. Well, guys, thank you for
Okay.
joining us.
Yep.
Let us know your thoughts on the meta, your thoughts on just how things are going. Young Tagoro, is he going to be a problem?
Yeah. Is
And are
is
we?
Toga 3 the new menace? We say
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Are Chris and I way off base? Are the characters that we like actually just bad? You can share that with us below.
Probably.
That's okay. We won't take it personally.
Probably. Nah,
I
I
will
don't.
cry quietly into my pillow at night. It's fine. You'll never know.
I'll just find you where you live and I'll stab you. No, not really.
It got real
I'm
dark
just
real
joking.
quick, guys. We're gonna have to edit that one out. So yeah,
All right.
like and subscribe and do the
Try
algorithm things.
your thing.
Chris won't
Alexa,
cut you. I don't know.
yep. Uh, Always, as always, do the Alexa things, please. Play those UA boys. Hit that comment, like, subscribe, bell for notifications, and I guess we'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.
So, take care.